Love and peace, beautiful people. Decided I'll do today's video outside, so you could forgive my angles. Not really sure what would be the best angle here. But I want to make sure some sunshine in the shot and nature and clouds. You see that beautiful sky? So beautiful out here today. All right, so let's chat. So there's been some ideas that have resonated with me, and I want to see if it resonates with y'all as well, okay? So I've been thinking a lot about relationships, right? And the connection between man and woman, the many different aspects of relationships and all of what it entails, and the necessity for us to really get to a point where we're being free. Let me see. You know, the day and time that we're in, there's a necessity for us to get to the point where we can really be free to express and experience love the way that it resonates with us. And I know for myself, oftentimes I'm a very free spirit. Not oftentimes, really all the time, unless I pick up some energy that shares that I should be other than that. I'm a very free spirit, and because my nature is to be loving, I freely share it. Like, I don't operate from a standpoint of somebody has to earn my love in that way. And, some people may think I'm naive when it comes to that idea. However, I'm just very free. I feel like what the world needs is love. So since I have it to give, I freely share it with everybody I come in contact with. By the way that I interact with them, I may do, different kind gestures as a token of love and appreciation for them just being themselves. However, I realize that there are a lot of people that's not really used to that expression, right? So there are some people that look to take that expression for granted and utilize it to their benefit. And I realize that many of us operate like me. Like, we're very free, we're very caring, we're very loving, and we're like busting at the seams to be with someone where we can freely express that love that we have. And maybe it's just me, however, I think there are many of us that haven't found that counterpart, whether it be a man listening to this video and you haven't found your feminine counterpart, or if it's a woman listening to this and you haven't found your masculine counterpart. And I know that it can be very challenging going through this experience because, being in this physical reality, we're always seeking balance. We're always seeking to be with someone that understands us, that we can be free and express what the Creator has placed in us. And I've come to realize the greater the blessing, the longer that it takes. So because it is that the expression of love freely being given is something that the world needs, that's a great blessing and a great responsibility, right? So to be balanced and be with the expression that's going to reflect back to you who you are, by simply being them, it's going to take a little bit of time. And the reason why I say that is because the recipient of that actually has to be ready as well. So there's a process that we have to go through to grow and develop and evolve and to be more of who we are while shedding the many layers of what we experienced being in this physical reality. Because, when you have a light that's so bright, and you're in this physical reality, there's often things that take place that will muffle your light. And even if it doesn't muffle your light, you muffle your light because of the experiences that you've had. And that's understandable because there's nobody physically with us teaching us and guiding us through this physical reality. So it's natural that that's what takes place. So in that taking place, we have to put in the work to recognize where we're muffled, where we're not being free? What parts of ourselves are we like protecting or holding dear or shielding from the world really getting to see the real us? And that process takes time. And we actually have to get to a point of being at a level of dissatisfaction, 100% dissatisfaction, and pursue changing what it is that we see. And while we're going through that process, our counterpart is going through a process as well. And basically, in essence, we're both being prepared for the time where we can become one, where we come together and we become one, not for personal gratification or personal satisfaction. We're coming to one to be able to move forward in our mission as to why we agreed to come here, to assist in magnifying love and light throughout, this physical realm, which then will extend throughout creation. So with that being the case, I know there are many of us who are experiencing the void at this time, especially since we're on like this shutdown. We're being put in a space where we're physically limited in our ability to interact with other energies. And I just wanted to come on and speak about it a little bit because I know that's a reality. And I know sometimes it really helps when we know that there's somebody that can understand and relate to what we're going through. And I know we're not always in a position where we're able to speak with ones that are around us and they really understand what it is that we're sharing or what we're experiencing. So it helps to be able to know that there's at least one being that exists that understands what it is that we are experiencing or what it is that we're going through. So I'd like to volunteer to be that one being for those that are not around anybody at this time. I understand what you're going through, and I understand that it can be challenging. And the reality is that this is all part of the divine plan, and there is something that we are to be focusing on or something we are to be receiving during this time. So I encourage you to explore, what that might be. Whether it's bonding with your children, whether it's taking time with yourself, whether that's healing, whether it's giving self-love, whether it's attaining balance. I know for myself, before this took place, I was working 8, 10, 12-hour days, like back to back to back to back. And I was not giving my material the love that she deserves. I was still being sure that I got in some energetic work, some spiritual work, focusing on the things that I need to grow out of, acknowledging different aspects that are there that don't belong there, and then replacing them with that which will magnify life. However, I wasn't being consistent in getting my sleep, eating like I should, and just like taking a moment to breathe. Sometimes it's important just to I'm the type of person, if I'm not doing something, I feel like I'm being lazy, or I feel like I'm missing something that I should be doing, or like I'm not responding to the opportunities that are being presented to me. And I just had to get to a point where I realized, and me taking care of myself, that is me doing something. If I'm just laying on the bed listening to music and I'm relaxing, that is me doing something, because I'm allowing my material the opportunity to recuperate, to rejuvenate. Taking my Epsom salt baths, laying, with my LED lights on, and playing some tones or something, and just like being off in thought. There's 100 things that I could think of that I could be doing. I could be, taking my courses. I could be studying. I could be doing energetic work. I could be doing readings. I could be, building my business, promoting my business. I could be doing research. I could be spending time with my children. Like, I could be doing a myriad of different things. However, the priority is making sure that I'm giving love to myself, because what I look like giving love to everybody else if I'm not giving love to myself? Like, how does that work? At some point, I have to be my own generator. Like, I'm plugged in to the creator, to the essence of life. However, at some point, I have to be able to refuel myself, by utilizing the tools that I've been given. And if I'm constantly giving out, and I'm not making any deposits in my own account, then at some point it's going to go in the negative. Like, those numbers going to be in the red, and I'm going to be looking crazy out here in these streets. So I just got to the point where I realized that's what my focus is to be at this time, to be sure that I am giving myself the love and the attention and the patience that I need, and that I so freely, and that I so freely give to everyone else. So I'm encouraging those of you that may feel like during this time, like you should really be doing something. You know, I know it's like a saying that's being said that, you know, if you come out of this and you don't have a business, or you don't have this and you don't have that, then you wasted the time. And I mean, I understand the perspective that they coming from. However, the reality of that is that that's not the absolute truth. Like, that's not like a cookie cutter black and white kind of thing that goes across the board, because everybody was at different levels of growth before this shutdown took place, before COVID-19. Excuse me, my edge control is bothering me, it looks like. All right, let me fix this. She can cut this part out. Right. Right, so everybody was at different points of their growth and development before COVID-19 hit. So I understand that applies to some people. However, it doesn't apply to everybody, because for those that are like me, like, I was already working on my business before COVID-19 came into play. Like, I already had my Facebook page up. I had already started my videos. I had already started my research. Like, I was already in motion. So for that to be shared, like, that doesn't apply to me. And then they also speak about having multiple streams of income and things of that nature. And I mean, all that's cool. And I understand the reason why they're saying it. And, you know, it makes a lot of sense. And in reality, if you've been completely dependent upon this system, then most certainly that applies to you. Like, really put in the work, take this time to research and figure out what resonates with your entity, or what is your passion, and see how you can turn that into a business. However, if you're somebody that doesn't depend upon this system, like me, I'm already self-employed. You know what I mean? Like, I already work for myself. I don't work for nobody else. So with that being the case, like, again, that doesn't apply to me. So it just really all depends on where you were before this hit, to make the determination on if that fits and applies to you. And I know when people say that, they mean well. However, they don't consider the spiritual and the mental aspect of what is taking place as well. And, you know, depending on who they are, they're not supposed to. So I respect that and I understand that. However, for me, you know, I understand a lot of the mental and the spiritual ideas that are taking place at this time. So I'm here to share. It's okay if you come out of this and you don't have no business, or, you know, you don't have no, like, 15 or 3 or 4, however many streams of income. Like, it's really okay if that's the case. Because if you come out and you have peace of mind, you have clarity of sight, you know, you are more whole, like, you're more one with yourself, like, you understand, you know, some of the things that have been holding you up, and if you let it go and you put a period to it and you're moving forward, then it was time well spent. Like, you took full advantage of the time that was being afforded to you. So, you know, make sure that you don't have no guilt or take on any stress as a result of what other people are saying and what they're doing with the time, because we're all different entities. We're all different expressions of the creator. So we're not going to be doing the same thing during this time. You know, we're all going to be taking advantage of this in different expressions. And that's what we should be doing. You know what I mean? So another aspect, you know, going back to the original idea of this, is realizing the necessity for man and woman to be one. Like, it's important for us to really understand the value of the man and the woman coming together to be one unit, and then learning and growing how to become one. You know what I mean? Like, we're supposed to be two that come together to be one, like the yin and the yang. You know what I mean? Like, there's a perfect balance that is to be experienced and established when it is that man and woman come together. You know, it shouldn't be no whole bunch of arguing. It shouldn't be no heartache, no headaches. It shouldn't be stressful. You know, are things gonna come up? Is it gonna be growth? Yes, because you're two separate beings coming together to get to know each other, to become one. So yes, it's going to be some events that take place. It's going to be some challenges that present themselves. However, it's not supposed to be stressful. Like, you're not supposed to be unhappy or miserable while you're going through it. Like if you're with someone, you're supposed to be experiencing a great level of happiness, especially at this time, because you're able to interact with each other with no interference. You know what I'm saying? The job is not distracting you. The stress of work is not distracting you. The stress of your peers is not distracting you. The stress of how you gonna balance out the children at school and their activities and in work and in making dinner and household chores. All of that is off the table at this time. So everybody really should be looking to see how they can experience greater levels of bliss in their relationships. And those of us that are not in a relationship at this time, we should really be in a thought process of having or growing and evolving in our appreciation for when it is our time and what it is that we bring to the table. Like, we have to be clear in what it is that we bring to the table as a masculine energy and as a feminine energy. And that's something else that I realized on my journey. Like, I used to be in a place where I used to feel like I needed to be needed. You know what I mean? And if I wasn't needed, then like it affected my value. And if the person didn't see a need for me, then it caused me to be less valuable than what I really was. And I just really grew to understand that, I'm dope. Like, I'm a dope individual in real life, and I bring a lot to the table. You know what I mean? Just my optimism alone and how I'm able to identify the positive in any given situation. I'm able to recognize Allah or the Creator in any given situation and shift one's thoughts, if they're willing to accept it, from a negative, low vibration perspective to a high vibration, positive perspective. Not many people could do that. And that's what I'm bringing to the table. And I bring much more. However, the idea is, like, I really had to evaluate me. You know what I'm saying? Like, instead of me taking what somebody else views or putting more value on what somebody else see, what do you see? So I'm challenging you. Like, what do you see in you? What are you bringing to the table? Not what somebody else share with you. Not what somebody else benefits from you being there. What are you bringing to the table? What do you see as your value? Your core value. What do you see that makes you unique in who you are, that's going to add to whoever it is that has the blessing of being able to interact with you or actually be in a relationship with you? Once you recognize that and you emit that kind of energy, like that confidence, that self-esteem, that, not arrogance, not being cocky, however, knowing like, yo, I got value. You know what I mean? We put value in cars. We put value in clothes and shoes, name brands, and big old houses. We put value in money, diamonds, gold. We put value in all of these things outside of ourselves. But when do we stop to put value in ourselves? When do we stop to take stock to see what value do I carry? And then when we do that, then we're not going to allow people to just do us any kind of way, treat us any kind of way, speak to us any kind of way. People who don't see the value in you, they will use and abuse you. Like, they will dry you up. Like remember those yellow sponges with the green backs that after you dried or washed the dishes or whatnot, you left them sitting, they would get all hard and crunchy and like fold all up. People will use and abuse you and dry you up like one of them sponges if we let them. So, and most times we let people do that because we don't understand and see the value in ourselves. However, when we see the value in us, we see the light that is in us, and we've made up our mind that we're going to shine our light, that we're going to operate in the vibration of the value that we are, then we don't allow people to do that to us anymore. We don't allow people to treat us that way. So there's what I want to say, a window of flexibility, for lack of a better expression, that I want to say, because we consider people are growing, that everybody's not at the same level. So sometimes we allow ourselves to experience and go through different things to assist different people in their growth and development, so that they can see their value and they can get to a place where they shine their light. However, that never means that we lose sight of the value that we have. It's a conscious decision. It's a difference between it being a conscious decision and something that you just find yourself in, a situation you find yourself in, where somebody is just using and abusing you and you don't realize it until you're all dried up. So, and all of this is like hand in hand, and the idea of the relationships between feminine, masculine, feminine energy, man and woman, you know what I mean? So, when you are clear on what you're bringing to the table and you're clear on what you're offering and what you can add to your spouse, you automatically start to attract that to you. You know what I mean? You don't attract, let me not say that, because you do attract lower vibration beings as well, because they feel your vibration, they see your light, and they want to experience it as well. However, you're in a more clear space. You have more control over your thought to understand what's really happening. You know what I mean? You're more tapped in, more in tune. So when you know what's happening, you handle them with care. However, you don't allow them to have full access to your energy, because they're only going to deplete you, because they can't make deposits. You know what I mean? When you know your value, you can identify somebody that can make a deposit. You can identify that they have something valuable to offer you, because you recognize the value in yourself. And it's in a balanced way, not where you just see the surface of a person and you think based on, their representative that they are the one for you, or they're the one that can add to you. You're in a place where you're able to actually see, a little bit deeper past the representative, and then you're more aware of how to navigate and interacting with the person, so that you can see, what's really there. You can see the substance of a person. You can see what ideas they need to give attention to, or what it is they're working on, and perhaps they're consciously aware, and they can actually verbalize and vocalize to you, what they're working on and what they're changing, what they're healing, what they're growing from. And those experiences are like the best. Like when you can meet another entity on this journey that's focusing on self-growth and self-healing, and they can share with you the things that they're focusing on, the things that they're growing out of, the things that they're healing from. Man, listen, if that ain't a beautiful reality, man, it's like, what is other entities out here doing the same thing? And then when you meet somebody that's of the opposite energy of you, meaning masculine or feminine, it's like, man, we really could talk about some things. You know what I'm saying? Like, even if you're not the one for me, or I'm not the one for you, to be blessed to come across somebody on this journey that's on the same path as you, and you all be able to dialogue about it, is like so refreshing, because it's so many people that you come across on this journey that has no clue. Like you may share like where you're at and what you're experiencing or what you're doing, and it like goes right over their head. You know what I mean? And then when you recognize and you can identify in them like what's happening, and you offer that support and that assistance and that guidance, and sometimes you got to get to the point where you call a spade, so you call it out and you show it to them in real time, like in their face, it goes right over their head. So to be able to experience somebody who's on the journey, who's clear they're on the journey, like they ain't lucking up on this is not by happenstance, they're actually like pursuing it, man, don't take that for granted. I'm a firm believer that when you encounter somebody and that energy is right, like there's something you're supposed to receive from that person. So be free to ride that wave, man. Like you just never know where that wave is going to take you, and what the creator of the universe has for you in that experience on the other side, or has for that person. You know what I mean? You might be the catalyst for them. You might be an angel, being sent to them. You might be a blessing in disguise. And in turn, you get either refortification, you get a reminder, you get confirmation, or you may receive something that adds to you as well. So don't cut yourself short of the opportunities that are being presented because of whatever. There's so many different reasons why somebody would allow themselves to be cut short. However, I'm saying whatever it is, don't do it. If it's not harming you, or it's affecting like your family or your loved ones, or it's not going to cause you any damage, excuse me, I say explore it, you know, because you'll never really know what the creator has for you if you put a short in it, because the creator can come through anybody at any time in many different, you know, circumstances and situations, and you just never know until you explore it. Now, if you explore it and it look like some bull, you know, they say if it walk like a duck, if it quack like a duck, it's a duck. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying be naive and be like, you know, super spooky about it to where you just, you know, looking for something that ain't there. But at the same time, like, don't ignore the energy. You know, I'm a person, I'm all about that energy. If that energy is right and it feels right, like, I'm going to ride with it. And I'm going to receive what I'm going to receive from it, even if it's a learning lesson. So I encourage you all to do the same thing. Allow yourself to be free. You know, we got ourselves so bound up and tied up by all these different ideas and different experiences that put us short in our growth, put us short in our evolution to be who we are, especially if it resonates with you that you here for a divine purpose. Like, if it resonates you that you here for something greater than yourself, greater than, you know, buying a house and getting a nice car and making money. And, you know, there's a lot of people who like striving to be millionaires and, you know, be financially set for life for generations to come. And I'm not knocking nobody that's of that mindset, because that very well may be what speaks to their entity. But I know that there's some people out there that that's not even attractive. Like, excuse me, that's my background. Again, I'm outside, so excuse me. You know, it's some of us that's not even attracted by that, not even a little bit. Like, there's nothing in us, on us, or around us that pulls on us to even want to go in that direction. Now, does that mean, you know, we don't enjoy having like a beautiful, comfortable home, you know, or, you know, nice things? No, I'm not saying that. However, we're not driven by the physical. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't have to have millions of dollars, man. If we get a couple thousand, we make mountains move. You know what I'm saying? We make some things happen with a couple of $1,000. You know what I mean? Or, you know, people want to build businesses to make millions of dollars. Some of us want to build businesses to help people, you know, to help the world, you know, to help heal, to spread love, to shine our light, to inspire other people to do the same thing. So I know there's some of us out there that's not, you know, motivated by the physical. And if you're around people that's constantly like feeding that to you, you know, you might succumb to it. You know, you might be in the rat race of trying to, you know, get ahead and, you know, get these Benjamins and, you know, stack your bread and make millions and, you know, but in deep down inside, you ain't happy. You know what I'm saying? You're not at peace. You don't have a clear mind in of your own self, because you're being so distracted by the pursuit of these physical things. And if that's you, this video is for you. You know what I mean? Like, and, you know, I'm sure there's something valuable that can be extracted. I know there's something valuable that can be extracted no matter where you are in your thoughts. And again, like, I'm not knocking nobody. I ain't nobody's judge. You know, I'm definitely not. You know, the Bible said, you know, judge not, lest you be judged. And I damn sure don't want the Creator to judge me. So, not at this time anyway. You know, I'm still righting some wrongs and, you know, getting some things together. You know, so my record truly reflects my heart. However, if this resonates with you, you know, again, I want you to know you're not alone. Like, it's some of us out here that's really doing the damn thing. You know, we putting in the work, you know, and we know that in us putting in the work, it's going to assist many. You know, we're going to be able to touch and save many, and cause them to come alive as well if it's their will. At the very least, we're going to be a light that shine in the midst of all this darkness. It's a lot of devilishment and, you know, satanic expressions taking place, real low vibration, you know, energy being expressed, and it's more low vibration energy trying to get through. And when we're being ourselves and we're being free and expressing the light that we are and continue to grow and evolve to higher levels of vibration and frequency, then it's going to ensure that others that have the opportunity or the ability to do the same, they're touched. And then the more of us that shine our light, the more of us that are dedicated to shining our light, then those low vibration energies that don't have the will to be elevated, they don't stand a chance. So, and I'm seeing where it's very valuable, where, you know, those of us that are in relationships, we look to see how we can do that within our relationship. You know what I mean? Sisters, ain't nothing wrong with being submissive. That's our nature, to be submissive. So if you got a man that want to lead, you know, he want to make things happen, he want to secure the family, he want to take care of some things, he got dreams and visions, man, inspire that brother, man. Like, you know, be a part of his world. Stop trying to be this independent woman and you got your own thing going on and you want to do this and you want to do that. Nah, like, allow yourself to be a part of, you know, what he sees. And I'm telling you, trust me, you're going to see the benefit in it. You're going to experience the benefit of it, because it's going to cause your relationship to grow and evolve and to greater levels of happiness. You know what I mean? That's why y'all got together to begin with, because something in what you experienced from him made you happy, and something in what he experienced from you made him happy. So you all are supposed to be focused on growing and evolving in those levels of happiness, and your level of submission is a great tool to be expressed or utilized to ensure that those levels of happiness are magnified. And then for the brothers, you know, be definite in who you are. You know what I mean? Be definite in the expression that you are, the visions that you have, the dreams that you have the will to accomplish. Don't doubt yourself. You know what I mean? Be open with your woman, with your warder. You know what I mean? Allow yourself to be sensitive, you know, be vulnerable, you know, knowing that she's not going to judge you and she's not going to take you for granted, because if you decided to take her on as your woman, as your warder, as your reflection, then you know her heart, you know what I mean? You know her entity, you know her soul, you know her spirit. So trust the reason why you chose her and give her the opportunity to reflect back to you who you are. So those are a few of the ideas that's been on my spirit. And I will that you benefit from what has been expressed, and I will you test it out, you try it out, and you know, if you have any specifics or details, or you know, your personal situation that you want to get some, you know, some advice on, you know, some guidance on, be free, drop it you know, drop a line below, leave comments below, you know, hit the inbox on Facebook, you know, Shine Your Light 777 on Facebook. This is gonna be on Facebook, on Instagram. I'm also on YouTube, on Facebook, and I'm gonna put a clip on Instagram. So if any of this resonates with you on whatever platform you see, reach out, you know what I mean? Because what you're going through, it's others going through it too. And I don't proclaim to have all the answers, but I know that I've been prepared in such a way where I can assist and guide many from the many life experiences that I've gone through and the intense study and teaching that I've been through as well. But as they say, experience is the best teacher. And I got more experience from this lifetime than most can even imagine for the amount of years that I've been on the planet. So I definitely don't speak from theory. I definitely speak from what I have lived, what I'm living. And I always operate from a base of tangibility. Like, I don't ever operate from a sense of, you know, this is what you should do from a spooky sense. It's always from experience of that which I have lived, that which I have learned, or that which I have observed from others, you know, because it's key to learn from what other people have gone through as well. So reach out, you know, because others can most certainly benefit from it. And I mean, the best thing that can happen is that you reach out and I share something and you try it and it works. The worst thing is you reach out, you share it, I share something, and you try it and it don't work. Nothing to lose, you know what I mean? So drop your comments below, like, share the video, subscribe, you know, recommend to others that may benefit or may be experiencing similar ideas that you are, or what's being spoken about in the video. I appreciate it. The more exposure, the more people that's reached, the more of us we can step into shining our light, and we can change this whole situation around. It don't take many to be operating at a high frequency, a high vibration of positive energy to overcome the negative low vibrations. So, you know, let's do the damn thing. You know what I mean? Let's make sure we share the love, we magnify the love, and we work together to shine our light. So, you know, this light that's up here, where's the sun at? The sun over there. This light that's shining on me right now, see that light, that natural sunlight? You know, we all can experience that from each other. And it'll be coming from within, not shining on us from without. So with that being said, You know, Shine Your Light 777 on YouTube, Shine Your Light 777 on Instagram, and on Facebook. I thank you if you've listened to this video from the beginning to the end. I am extremely humbled. I'm appreciative that you saw value in this video and you took the time to listen. I appreciate every share, every like, every comment. I appreciate you. Thank you. And on that note, shine your light, all right? Love and peace.